One of our favorite things at staying at national parks is camping in the actual national park. I highly recommend spending at least one night in Riley Creek. It's right when you enter Denali. You still get a lot of wildlife. The moose walked right through our campsite last night.
We're just walking to go to the shuttle, and we're walking, and this was like, oh my god, there's just moose like right in the middle of the road, like with their little babies.
We should have caught your reaction.
Oh, he was scared.
Jiraiya?
No, these two scaredy cats right here.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I wasn't just scared.
You can't see the babies in the video very well. They're so cute. It's huge. Those are like the longest legs. There's ranger programs. It's really great experience. Your kids will absolutely love it. If you stay at Riley Creek, it's nice because it's just a couple minute walk on the trails to the Mercantile, and this is where there's a little store that you can get a few different food supplies, beer, wine, coffee. They even have espresso. And there's also a shower here. There's a place where you can do laundry, so it's really convenient. It makes camping much easier if you're going to camp here, especially with kids. And then if you want to go a little bit more off-grid, like we're going right now, you can camp out at Teklanika, and you get exclusive access to that campground only if you reserve it way out in advance. So it's a pretty neat experience here. Favorite things at national parks is going to the visitor center, because at the visitor center you can get
Junior Ranger books.
So the Junior Ranger base, if you've never done the Junior Ranger program, it's pretty cool because based on the age, the younger kids only have to do a few of the pages. So Tati only had to do 5. Jiraiya had to do 7 of the pages, and then 12 and up have to do them all. But it's a great way to help them get excited. Don't drink my coffee. It's a great way to get them excited about nature and being in the national parks. Plus, usually the rangers are so nice and exciting, and when they finish their book, they bring it back in, and they're going to now be official junior rangers, and they get sworn in as
I already have a Junior Ranger. He does it like 10 times.
But it's cool.
Spend time exploring our national parks.
Spend time exploring our national parks.
Continue learning about the natural world.
Continue learning about the natural world.
And do all that I can to protect the world around me.
And then another thing, at least at this national park, each family can get a free backpack that has science experiments. It has a bunch of educational information. So make sure if you go to Denali that you ask for one of the family activity backpacks. They're really cool. We also always go to the visitor center just to ask about the status of hikes and to make sure that there's any information that maybe we don't have already. I try to supply you tons of information in the blogs, but it's always good to go to the visitor center and check the trail condition. Like we found out that some areas are blocked off because of the wolf den today, so we're going to adjust our hikes based on that. There are a lot of trails you can do right from the visitor center. We decided to do the strenuous one, of course, and did the hike to Mount Healy overlook because you get these amazing views of the valley below you. It's a little bit hard, a little steep, but we made it to the top in a little over an hour, so I think it's totally doable. I highly recommend it, but otherwise there's really pleasant hikes down that go from the visitor center that don't gain elevation, so make sure you hike when you're there.
Oh my god!
We're in!
Woo!
So it's a big deal.
Do we really have enough food?
If
Teklanika, well, one, you kind of have to reserve it way ahead of time because it's very limited in campsites, and it's a big deal when you camp there. You have to camp there for 3 nights. So you're not allowed to go camp there for 1 or 2 nights. I mean, you can pay for 3 nights and only stay for 1 or 2, I guess, but it's about 15-mile dirt road to get there from where they block off the road to the campground. And so you're really camping like kind of off grid, and they're really strict about saying like, look, you get to drive in once and drive out once, but you can't go back and forth because they want to limit the number of vehicles on the road and the pollution and all that. So we reserved this back in what, December? Maybe about 6 months ago, and it was cool because you get your spot out there, and then you also get to pay for 1-day bus ticket that they reserve you. Like, so for tomorrow morning, we've got our bus that takes us to the end of the road, because past Teklanika campground, you're not allowed to drive. Even if you get the pass to go to there, you're not allowed to drive further than your campground.
And they also tell you, do you have enough food for 3 days?
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you have enough food and water for 3 days if you're going to go out there and camp, because you'd hate to run out and have to leave and then you can't get back in. So do we have enough food?
Yeah.
I think we have enough food for 3 days. We might not have enough protein for Victor for 3 days, but we have enough carbs for 3 days. So we have a guarantee spot on the bus tomorrow, 8:40 a.m. It'll pick you up in front of the campground. But the cool thing is, all the other days, we can get on the bus anytime we want, assuming there's room on the bus. So you can ride standby anytime you want out to the Eelson Visitor Center.
Oh, I feel so special. I feel like VIP.
Yeah, we basically are.
The only thing that I didn't do in planning this is that we are going from this June 3rd to June 7th to Teklanika, and the road's going to only be open to Eelson Visitor Center. It doesn't open all the way to Wonder Lake until the 8th. The only reason I didn't care about that personally is because it's longer than I wanted to ride a bus. I know Wonder Lake's supposed to be amazing, but I really didn't want to do an 8-hour bus ride. It didn't sound appealing to me, so I was good with this. But if you want to ride to the absolute end of the road, then you need to check the dates for the year that you come to make sure the entire road's open. Shuttle bus that you can ride down Park Road that I was a little reluctant. I thought, oh, how amazing could the shuttle bus be? It's amazing. It's absolutely something you have to do when you're in Denali. It was really cool because I was against it a little bit because I thought, oh, it's gonna be hard to sit that long, but you're so engrossed in the scenery, and they stop every like 30 to 45 minutes so you can stretch your legs or go to the bathroom. It was really nice. And another part was like Denali seems like it's going to be this vast wasteland and you're not going to see much, but you're surrounded by mountains. You might not be like that you're tight in the mountains the whole time, but there are constantly beautiful mountains in view. So that part was really cool.
I think we scored the best day to ride the bus to the end of the road. You can see almost all of McKinley today. It is absolutely gorgeous.
If you make it to Eelson Visitor Center, this is the hike you've got to do. It's a mile straight up, take you about 45 minutes to get to the top, but the views are worth it.
up to the top, and you literally like get up here, all these vast, like huge mountains, and then just emptiness. It just stops right here.
So like I mentioned, only Eielson was open when we were here starting this Saturday on June 8th. The rest of the road, you can see the road extend out there, and it does, the landscape definitely changes. I mean, I'm guessing that going all the way to Wonder Lake would be pretty cool too, but if you're not up for such a long bus ride, really it seems like this is the spot to be for the best views if you really love mountains. If you go out to Wonder Lake, you might want to try a backpacking trail though out there. I've heard though to bring mosquito spray because it gets pretty bad out there.
We are getting the most amazing views of McKinley ever. I cannot believe our luck.
I mean, it's not all exposed, but like 90%. I'm so proud of you. Wow.
That was a hard mile.
That was a hard mile uphill. You did it.
No, it wasn't hard.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, look at this badass over here. She's just not hard.
Easy.
Hiking off trail in Denali is quite an experience. We're gonna test it out and see how we like it. We were going to go hike that big mountain in the distance, Divide, but then when we got to Teklanika, it was so cold and windy, and then you have to cross a river. I'm like, I just didn't feel up to it. Jiraiya was whining. So then the bus driver told us to do geode, which looked cool, but then the other bus driver said, oh, your shoes are gonna be soaked because it's so wet to get there. So then he said, well, technically you can start on this riverbed and we can follow it up and around and get there. But then there's a storm coming across, and I have a feeling we're gonna get soaked anyway. So I think we're just gonna end up following this trail, this riverbed, all the way across the pass to the other side of the mountain. So let's see, I don't know, it's kind of a cool thing. Like there's no official trail when you come here. And everyone, if you ask them, they're like, oh, go, yeah, you can hike wherever, or this is great, it's all great, and nobody has any information on how to get anywhere specific. So let's try it.
So follow that trail.
What trail?
The trail that we blazed.
When you visit Denali, if you like trails and you don't like the idea of bushwhacking or having to blaze your own trail, then it's really important that you camp down by Riley, because there are a lot of network of actual trails. When you take the bus ride in, you're in just the wilderness area, so there's no established trails, but you're allowed to hike wherever you want. But I know that can be intimidating for some people. So for some people will love that, but if you want the safety and security of an actual carved out trail, then definitely stay more by the visitor center in Riley.